Enlightenment. Chapter 11. The Time. When the original mind projected itself in the hologram, it had to be done leaving the timeless coordinates to live time separately, because the hologram is the experience of separation. If someone feels separated, he must separate, and an easy way to do this is to put space and time in between. The ego feels very comfortable with the perception of past, present and future. And to living it fully it uses guilt. When we feel guilty, we unconsciously ask for punishment, and this is presented in our lives through situations and relationships in which guilt reigns, which is the cause of all our anxiety. The perception of time would not exist without guilt. This is the rock on which the ego church is built. Cause and effect are never seen together because between them there is a lot of space and a lot of time. We are not aware that we are the cause, and what happens to us is the effect. Guilt makes us live in the past, always thinking of a moment that already happened and that we relive in what we call present. That is why the past is the same as the future. Thus, a way of living the present is to turn it into a wonderful moment in which we forgive ourselves for believing in guilt. A Course in Miracles teaches that the way to get rid of guilt is not to go to the ego, which lives from it, but to the Holy Spirit. That's why he tells us, your role is simply to make your thought return to the point where the mistake was made, and to give it there to the atonement in peace. The ego loves to waste time. It loves to make us believe that we must do things to reach a goal or to achieve something. It has us so trapped in this premise that there is not something without time in between. Everything needs time. We are so convinced of this that we say things like, time heals everything. Everything is a matter of time. Time puts things in their place, dedicate time to what you want, and so on. Our perception of time has us trapped in this experience. We live time in many ways. We live as if we lack time, and this creates a lot of anxiety. Worries and anxiety take away our peace and feed fear, which is projected in the future. We fear death and the passage of time, which is inexorable. Time is a great ally of the ego, which uses it to worry about the future, and also to remind us of old wounds. It makes us constantly look to the past so that we forget to live a beautiful present. With this, it makes the present become a hell. In this way, the ego makes our past equal to the future and that our present is a sea of anxieties and anguish. Although nothing important and dangerous happens, we keep thinking that the tranquility is taking too long, and that after the calm the storm will come. Time as such does not exist. We live time as a mental illusion, a consequence of the separation of everything and everyone. In the original mind, without space or time, everything is an eternal now. All events are contained in waves of interference. It is a broth of information about to manifest itself. And it manifests itself when the part of the original mind that is projecting inside the hologram decides to live an event determined according to its mental state. Therefore, the perception of time is so particular. There are people who, according to what they are doing or who they are with, live an hour, as if it were a few minutes. On the other hand, minutes can be converted into hours. This shows that time is mental.